Most people go through life like they're just ticking boxes. Wake up, go to work, complain, sleep, and repeat the cycle the next day. But what if I told you that some people are here for a much greater purpose, and that you might be one of them? Being a chosen one has nothing to do with being perfect, being nice all the time, or memorizing inspirational quotes. On the contrary, many chosen ones carry deep wounds, often feel out of place, and have thought about giving up more than once. But that's exactly what sets them apart. They don't break, they awaken. And no, I'm not talking about generic synchronicities like I saw 11:11 and felt something. That's just the beginning. The real signs that you are a chosen one go far beyond that. They're intense, undeniable, and often uncomfortable. But once you start recognizing them, everything changes. You stop sabotaging yourself, you understand why so many things went wrong before, and you finally begin to live the life you were meant to live. Believe it, there is a force guiding you. And in this video, you'll discover the 9 most revealing signs that you were never here by accident. From an early age, some people carry a strange feeling that they don't quite belong in this world. They feel like loose puzzle pieces that just don't fit into the logic of society. While everyone else seems fascinated by the normal things, the chosen one feels empty when living on autopilot, as if there's something beneath the surface that no one else seems to notice. This is one of the first signs, and it can show up in childhood through discomfort with meaningless rules, or in adolescence through not identifying with the world around them. The chosen one watches everything from the outside, even while being inside, and that's never by accident. Another sign that can't be ignored is an intensely heightened intuition. It's not just a feeling, it's knowing with every cell in the body what's going to happen, even without any logical explanation. These people just know when something's about to go wrong, when someone is lying, or when they need to turn left even though the GPS says to go right. This intuition goes far beyond a hunch. It's a spiritual compass disguised as a sixth sense. And the more the chosen one learns to trust it, the stronger the synchronicities become, as if the universe is whispering back, "You're on the right path." And there's more. These signs don't show up by chance. It's like the universe is constantly nudging the chosen ones, saying, "Wake up, something bigger is waiting for you." But while some ignore that call, others reach a point where they simply can't live the same way anymore. And that's when everything starts to shift. Because once that inner calling starts to scream, no matter how many distractions the world offers, nothing satisfies. And strangely enough, that's exactly when life starts to move in unexpected ways. There are moments when everything seems to fall apart at once. Relationships crumble, work loses its meaning, and what once brought joy becomes unbearable. It's what the ancient mystics called the dark night of the soul. It's not just sadness. It's an identity collapse, an ego breakdown, where the universe pulls the ground out from under you just to push you toward the sky. Sometimes you have to lose everything that distracted you to finally remember who you've always been. It's in this chaos that the chosen one is reborn. What's fascinating is that while most people try to put out the fire with distractions, the chosen one starts to sense a purpose hidden in the ashes. Suddenly, the right books appear, deep conversations unfold, and that old feeling of "why me" begins to shift into "this can't be just a coincidence." Synchronicities intensify, as if something invisible is guiding every detail. It's the beginning of the awakening. And when the outer world stops making sense, the inner world starts to beat louder, because something deep down already knows. They weren't born just to survive. And if you're going through this right now, that might be the most powerful sign of all. Because the universe doesn't wake up those who want to keep sleeping. It only shakes those who are ready to remember. So when the structures collapse and everything you once relied on falls apart, pay attention. This could be the exact moment when the chosen one is activated. And in that process, something even deeper begins to emerge from the unseen. There comes a point when synchronicities stop being random and start happening almost daily. You think of someone and they call. You glance at the clock and it's exactly 11:11. You mention a book and it suddenly shows up. At a newsstand, in a video, in a random post. This isn't coincidence. It's the universe speaking, sending messages all the time. But most people haven't yet learned how to listen. The chosen one, however, feels it in the heart. Something is there. Something beyond logic that can't be explained, only experienced. And the more they open up to this, the more they feel connected to everything. Being near a tree begins to calm the spirit. A simple moment in the sun feels like a recharge. The ocean, the wind, the stillness of the night, all of it vibrates differently. It's as if nature becomes an extension of their own soul. The chosen one doesn't just see the world, they feel it. And that sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's a tool. The connection to the invisible becomes as real as any physical object in the room. This intimacy with the universe begins to transform even the smallest gestures of daily life. Meditation stops being a trend and becomes a bridge. Looking at the sky isn't just beautiful, it's a conversation. The right music, the movies that touch something deep, the books that feel written just for you. Everything starts to align. And it's at this point that the chosen one begins to realize they're not just living in the world, they're being guided by it. But this connection is only part of what awaits. Because when the soul awakens, it also discovers it has a mission. One of the clearest signs that someone is a chosen one is an uncontrollable urge to help others, even without knowing exactly how, even without having all the answers. It's an almost instinctive need to ease someone's pain, to offer a word, to reach out a hand. And the most curious part, it happens even with strangers. The chosen one can't turn away from the suffering of others, because within them beats a mission that hasn't been fully revealed, but is already active. Many slowly begin to realize they have abilities others don't understand or even mock. They feel other people's pain as if it were their own. They pick up on the energy in a room. They know what someone is feeling, even when nothing is said. Is it empathy? Yes, but it goes deeper. It's spiritual sensitivity. In some cases, mediumship begins to show. In others, it's the ability to heal with their hands, their voice, or simply their presence. These are gifts they never asked for, but they're part of the package of being who they are. And the hardest part? They often carry all of this in silence. They don't always have someone to talk to. They don't always find a group that truly understands them. But deep down, they know it's not by accident. They're here to make an impact, even if at first it just feels like they're trying to survive. And it's in that very silence that the universe shapes invisible warriors. Because the chosen one doesn't need to shout their mission. They just need to keep moving forward. And when they do, something even more powerful begins to unfold. There's an almost undeniable pattern in the lives of the chosen. The challenges never seem to give them a break. Just when things start to flow, another hit comes from the universe. But it's not because life wants to punish them, it's because life is refining them. Like diamonds under pressure. The chosen one is tested in silence, often without applause, without an audience, without recognition. But behind it all is a greater purpose, to shape a soul strong enough to carry the mission it was born with. These trials aren't random, they're custom-made. It's as if the universe is saying, you ask to awaken, now you must be prepared to lead. And leadership requires inner structure. That's why the chosen one goes through losses that teach, betrayals that cleanse, and loneliness that strengthens. It's all training, it's all school, and even when it hurts, deep down they know they're being prepared. Every scar becomes a symbol of spiritual authority, not weakness as many might think. And the strange thing is, after every fall, the chosen one rises with more clarity, more faith, more intuition. They understand they're not here for an ordinary life, but for something very few can handle. And even without a manual, a map, or guarantees, they keep going. Because something inside whispers, you're on the right path. And when they finally embrace that role, without resistance, a new vision begins to emerge. And with it, a powerful revelation that's ready to be delivered. Now that you've seen the signs, the question is simple and powerful. Will you ignore what you've just discovered, or will you finally step into the role you came here to live? Because knowing you're a chosen one means nothing if you keep hiding behind doubt, routine, and fear. Do you feel something awaken as you hear these words? Then it's time to act, to connect more with nature, to listen to your intuition, to study the messages the universe sends you every single day. You know this wasn't random. You can feel it. So tell me in the comments, which of these signs hit you the hardest? Which one has been repeating in your life and you hadn't realized why? Share it, because your experience might be the nudge someone else needs to awaken too. And if this video touched you in any way, if it opened a new perspective for you, don't let it slip away. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and stay close. Because here, we're going to keep uncovering what no one ever told you, and you won't want to miss what comes next.